Hi guys, I just wanted to share a little stage of this. I've been building this platform from the ideas given through Model Rail a couple of issues ago, and I've started doing this one, and it's all made out of spare pieces of mount board, and then I've added some, if I can show that to you too well, the plastic card, and then the whole thing along the whole length. It's 4 foot long, and it was made to measure because I had a certain gap which the original Hornby ones I had just wouldn't work in. And so what I wanted to do is to show you how far it's got. I did feature the idea on my last update, but you can see how I've constructed it underneath all the way through, like so, and how working upside down on this filming is not so easy as I thought, but you get the idea, I hope. And so it's all been weathered in, and now I wanted to put some lights on. So I've got hold of some of these, I think they're called grain of wheat bulbs. They're not LEDs. I wanted LEDs, but maybe another time I shall do. But you get the idea. And I put these every 20 centimeters along the entire length of the 4 foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over gently. You can see the very tiny wires underneath, and these are extremely small. But what I'm going to do now is start to wire these up. I'm not great at wiring at all. In fact, the last lot of these bulbs I mounted, so I've got to be a little careful. And I'll come back to you in a little while when I've done a little bit more on this. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, bye for now. Catch you all soon. Okay, welcome back. I've moved on a little way. What I first did, of course, is I checked each of the lights were working, just with a simple 9-volt battery. Get the right pair, and it should light up. If I get this right. There we go. So that's the lamps tested. But what I did find before, I did some street lamps, and I have to say right here and now that I am firmly in Richard from New Junction's camp, in as much as I hate wiring. I'm not very good at it. I much prefer to be weathering or doing scenery. So electrics to me is quite an alien thing. I'm not very good at it. I can barely change a household plug, which is to my shame, but that's the way it is. But since I've been doing modelling, I've had to learn an awful lot very, very quickly. So as I said, I was doing some street lights with some of this stuff a couple of weeks ago, and the first ones I put up I actually melted. There was not much left of them. They weren't usable. I don't think I've got any left around, but I chucked them away. Or maybe that's one, but that's probably one of the better ones. But I did melt them because I put them up to a Hornby controller. They were very bright, so I turned them to the other, the slidey part of the controller, and they kept going off. So I wired them directly to the things at the front, and realised once the smell came that I'd melted them because of I put 16 volts through a 12-volt bulb. Not good. Not good. So that was a quick learning curve, so I destroyed that lot, tried to do them again, and then I found that these wires, 2 of them on each are bare and 2 of them are coated. Doesn't matter which way you do them, but I found that when I had these wired up to resistors, and if they underneath the table, if I wasn't careful enough and they touched, of course they shorted out and the poor resistor burned bright for a second or two and died. So a lot of learning curve. In fact, the street lights are still working, but not all of them, so I do have to go back in and think about rewiring them. So how do I want to wire these up? Well, again, I don't really know. I'm not an electrician, so the thing that I've got to figure out is I think that what I want to do is put some very small, I bought some of these small blocks, and I'm hoping that I can feed 2 wires in and the other 2 wires in here, and then super glue these underneath, which will, I hope, work, and then feed, not quite sure yet, but I will get to the bottom of it. But I want to put resistors in too, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to wire this through, whether I do them in, I think, what they call parallel or in line. Not sure what the best way is, but I will do it. I'm rambling a bit because I really don't know what I'm talking about. I know that these won't take more than 1k resistors. I'm going to put 1 per pair. I think that's more sensible in this case. But what it will do is, of course, these are quite bright, I found, without any resistance to them. Take them down a peg and they really looked quite nice and quite the part. So anyway, I will come back a little later. Hopefully I won't have destroyed any of this, and hopefully it'll start to look a little neater. And yeah, more soon. Anyway, just a quick shout back out to Richard from New Junction. Mate, I do know where you are when it comes to electrics, because it's a minefield. So I can quite understand your feelings on it, and I totally agree with you. Anyway, more later. Back soon. Bye bye for now. Okay, just before I turn it over finally, you can see that I've now tidied up all the wiring, and it's all neatly placed, so once this goes on the table nothing will protrude beyond the base and therefore cause any problems with this sat down. So now it only remains for me to turn this thing over and set these lights up in the position I want them. What I'm going to do is just move along a little bit. I want to put them, end gauge would put them around about, from bottom to top, about 43 millimeters high, whereas some of them are over 63, 64 mils high. I think that's too much, so I'm just going to check this out. See, that's too high, and this one I want them around about the sort of 50 millimeter mark, so I think that's around about right. So I'm going to put them at 50 mil on there, and that one will be the first one. This one's got to come down, and these all will be tweaked accordingly. But yeah, I think we're onto a winner. Provided I don't snap any of these at this late stage, getting them in. I'll just check why that one's not going in. I think I realise why that one's having trouble. I've kind of got some super glue in the way, and it's going to cause me a big problem to get this one down. No, I think we broke through. No damage. I'm just going to check that I haven't damaged any of the lighting before I proceed. Just check these lights are, yeah, nothing's damaged. They're all working. Okay, that's good. So we can get these all now. But I haven't done anything silly with the super glue on any of these other ones. I'm looking, they're all looking good. That's excellent. So I am going to now set these up, put them in and glue them in the right place, and I think I might just bring them down a little further actually. A good friend of mine says that sort of end gauge is great, so I'm going to put them at 40, 45 to the top of the sort of canopy type thing on top of these, and set them up there. I'm going to do that. Alright, so I'm going to take it up and put a little dob of super glue onto this first one. Work a little bit fast and put it down to where I want it, about there. Let that go off. Hopefully that's the right thing to have done. Checking it. 45 to the top, so I'll have to try and watch all of them to be about the same. Okay, I'll come back when I've done the rest of them and we'll see if it works. Back into it. Bye for now. Let's just open a few of these and have a bit of fun. Just want to lose some of these marks that I put in. Right. Got a bit of water just to take some of that off, I think. Bit of cloth, bit of paper, good old kitchen roll. That's not so bad. I think this I will glue from underneath, so that way I don't make any more mess on top. Left of some of the colours. You can see that. Get this right. Just a little bit of flock that I've got, and I'm going to use just a little bit of this tacky glue in places, just to try and suggest bit of weed or two. I'll try it there. If I don't like it, I'll take it off. But, okay, so here we are then. I've put this platform in place. It's not glued down or anything. I've just merely put it there to just to see if it works really. So I plugged it in, wired it up. Now it had a 1K resistor at the beginning of this daisy chain, I suppose, for want of a better term, and the lights wouldn't come on. Didn't understand why. I had wired it in with another small LED, but that shouldn't have made any difference. Anyway, I wired it independently and it still wouldn't come on. Now I had tested them, so I knew that the lights themselves were fine, so I couldn't work it out. Anyway, I smelt something and the resistor was overheating and burning. So for some reason, and I don't know because I'm not an electrician, I hate electrics, and for some reason, I don't know why, but the resistor burned out. There's a 1K. It was feeding all of these. Maybe it was just trying to feed too many. I don't know. Maybe I should have put resistors for each light. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I took the resistor off and the lights came on. So I'll just stop it here and come back with the lights on. Hang on. Okay, now I don't know what I've done wrong. I did this last time. This is running 12 volts through. Now for some reason, and I have no idea why, but all of these lights have melted. This one has not only melted, but one of them has blown. This one too has melted. Now this is a 12 volt running through this. I really do not know what I've done wrong. Truly. Something's not right. I checked the wiring. I lit them on 9 volt from a battery and they worked fine. But obviously something is very seriously not right. So I'm going to put this video out in the hopes that somebody out there with far more knowledge than me will be able to tell me what the heck I've done wrong, because this is feeding off a 12 volt. Indeed, there are lights which I shall pulling on over there, which are on a resistor. Each have got a resistor, a 1K resistor, and those have been on quite happily for several hours. So why, for some reason, with these ones, in fact there's an LED in there, but for some reason these ones have decided to melt. And I don't understand why that should be. But you can clearly see the tops have, if I can pull out from there a little bit and let it focus, the tops have melted. Indeed, one bulb was blown. So yeah, not much I can do except take this whole thing up and start again. But if somebody out there can tell me what the heck I've done wrong, I'd like to know. But maybe I should stick to weathering and forget lights. Anyway, I'm feeling a little bit dejected because I spent a long time on this. Hopefully it was going to look good, but all I've got is a train wreck, for want of a better term, on my hands, and it means I've got to take it all apart and start all the way over on the electrics once more. Anyway, I hope you can tell me what's wrong, and please post it in the comments and advise me. Thanks very much. All the best for now. Bye bye. Bye.